one special. Okay, and I think one special person that I think everyone should also appreciate more is also Julie here. Okay, let's give Julie another round of applause. So because both of us are actually agenda and summit managers, but for her, she's more on the behind the scene role. So I think that she's not on the spotlight here, not speaking in front of everyone like me right now, but then she definitely deserves the credit. So remember to give her the love, okay? Yeah, so let's go to next slide. Yeah, so let's recap today's day 2 agenda, right? So today we started with morning plenary with Lee. So let's do the popcorn style again, and let's do this fast, okay? I know you guys want to go for your dinner already. So morning plenary, what did we do in this morning?
McDonald's game.
Okay, great, McDonald's game. Then what do you learn from this McDonald's game?
Each department should be synergy, should be connected. People, finance, and product. People, finance, operational.
Okay, great. Who is this again? Sorry, I can't see. Oh,
Stephen.
Stephen, you get the extra fun team points from here. Yeah, thanks, Stephen. You basically recap the key message here. So mainly people, operation, finance, all aspects matter for an organization to run sustainably. Okay, thanks, Stephen, for recapping for me. Moving on, we have our mock legislation. Beauty of this organization. So how was it? Can you type in the chat to let me know how was your experience on this legislation? Was it exciting for you? Eye-opening? Yes? Yes means what? A prank. It's a simulation. I wouldn't say it's a prank. Stress but learn a lot. Great. Then what did you guys learn from this legislation? What was the message?
I learned that we all need to stick and work together in making a decision, and every vote counts, no matter what.
Hey, thanks, Mahesh. You also helped me recap the key message here also. And Stephen also mentioned being an entity leader to think and make decisions. Yes. So mainly each motion is a decision for you to make for the entity, and each vote matters, and you can decide your entity's direction through this vote. Okay. Yeah, and for functional fair, I wouldn't recap for everyone one by one, but mainly in functional fair, we learn about how each function contributes towards the organizational sustainability in their own unique ways, connected towards the first 2 sessions, especially the McDonald's game. And just now we had Lermin talking with us, lead with purpose, bloom with impact. So what do you guys do here? Just ended. No one remember what just happened? The puzzle. Okay. Then what do you learn from this puzzle, or what was the key message you got from Lermin?
MC history.
Yeah, MC history.
Oh my God. Okay, it's
No,
not
never forget what the past brings to you, and learn how each function works.
Okay, thanks Mahesh again. Once again, recapping the key message being left by Lermin. Again, this is not only MC history, but I would say it's the whole Isaac and Malaysia history. So looking back at the history, we see how Isaac and Malaysia's decision is based on continuity of our legacies, our strengths, and how this continuity contributes towards sustainability. And we need to always appreciate what the past has brought us. Okay, so I think that's all from my side. I'll fully pass it back towards the closing plenary spotlight, which is Minnie right here. Okay, so let's welcome Minnie for closing plenary.
Woo! All right, cool. Thanks, Eugene, for the agenda recap. So yeah, I think just before we dive into the evening plenary, again, this is the full 2 days agenda, and now we are at the very last session already, which is the closing plenary. Okay, so I think starting from day 1 until now, we have go through a lot of sessions, starting from why we need to have right value as a leader, and going into what is the role as an EB, what is your unique contribution, and how to build your team as a P and also as LCEB. And also recap at the end is that you have the power to write your own story, right? And going to today, which is talking mainly on the organizational sustainability, and also going through that, what is the beauty of the organization in terms of the governance part of it, and also what is the contribution of each of the function towards the entity vision, and also with the session by Lermin just now about what has been done in the past until today, which shaped the Isaac in Malaysia of this year as well, which is the term that we are leading, and also the term that you are going to lead in the upcoming years, right? So now we are in the very last session with me. So any guess, like, you know, what is the content Minnie is going to talk about in this closing plenary? Yeah, anyone? Continuity. Okay. Any more guesses? Continuity, maybe a bit, not a lot. Yeah. What do you think would be the key thing? Oh, it starts with you. Wow, wow, Jolene. Yeah. I think Jolene is quite on point. Yeah. So I think after we have gone through so many things in these 2 days summit, I think, and it's already the last session, right? So I think I want to put more focus back to you here, everyone here who is joining since yesterday and spending a weekend with us. So I have 3 things to ask before we kickstart the plenary session, right? First, have you achieved your day 2 learning goal? Do you still remember your day 2 learning goal? Anyone? You can type in the chat. +1 means you have achieved. 0 means haven't. Or you can say, I forgot my day 2 learning goal. Okay, 1 to 2/3. Okay, okay. Means halfway there. The rest, other than Mahesh, Xiaotian, and Stephen. We have 40+ people here, right? But these are the only delegates that has been talking. Yeah, how about the rest of the people? Are you still here? Yes, achieve. Wow. 2/2. Okay, cool. 2 also. Wow. Wow, that's good. That's good. All right. How about have you met 100% of your expectation from the summit? Yes. Is it a yes? More than 100%. Wow. Agenda manager, good job. And all the FAST team. It's more than 100%. Wow, 130%. Cool, cool. Nice, nice. Very happy to hear that. And a very last part of it, I think I want to ask, do you have the clarity already on what is the decision you want to make? You can be honest with me, it's fine. Yeah, do you think maybe or halfway there? Because I think some of you here might want to, you know, understand a bit better, learn a bit more before you make certain decision. Decision here doesn't mean, you know, yes, I'm going for leadership position. It can be also, no, I'm not going for it, right? So do you have that clarity with you already? I mean, this is the last session already, right? So do you think you already have it? Wow, yes, yes. Okay, maybe, yes. Okay, cool, cool. All right. Yeah, thanks for sharing it with me. I think it's one of the expectations I would have, which is to be honest during this closing plenary. Okay, cool. So yeah, we have learned a lot about your role as an EB, what's the things that you need to expect if let's say you go for this role, and also about national direction, about what exactly is Isaac, for example, and what's the things that Isaac Malaysia is striving for, and what you would be part of the picture if let's say you are the EB team of your LC, right? And now I wish to have more time back to you as a person. Is it a bit laggy from myself?
No.
No? Okay. Sorry for the technical part. Yeah, so I think I wish to spend a bit more time with yourself. Yes, and I think the objective of me here is to let you to get to know yourself a bit more. Yeah. Okay. My slide is a bit laggy from my end. Yeah. So before we dive into the session, I think let's spend 3 minutes to do a very mindful breathing meditation. I think it's already 2 days facing the laptop, you know, throughout morning until now, right? So it has been a hectic day for everyone. So let's spend a very quick 3 minutes breathing meditation. So make sure you are at a comfortable position and you can, just sit with us and go through the 3 minutes breathing together.
Mindful breathing. Close your eyes and rest your hands on your knees. Bring your attention to the touch of your body on your seat. Feel the weight of your body on your chair or cushion. Make sure that your back is straight and that you're comfortable. Take a few deep breaths. While you're breathing deeply, relax your shoulders, your stomach muscles, the muscles in your face, your hands, and your legs. Let go of all the tightness in your body. Now bring your attention back to your breath. Notice what it feels like as it enters through your nose, goes down through your throat, filling your lungs, and back out through your nose. Notice your stomach and chest rise and fall each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out. And just allow your breathing to be natural and relaxed. Now bring your attention to the feeling of your breath in your nose. Feel your breath as it comes in and goes out. Just focus on this sensation, paying attention to each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out. As you inhale, maybe your breath feels cool. And as you exhale, maybe it feels a little warmer. When your mind wanders, or if you become distracted, just notice what's going on in your head, and then gently bring your attention back to your breath, going in and out. Focus on the feeling of your breath and allow thoughts and feelings to come and go in the background. Now gently bring your attention back to the touch of your body on your seat and open your eyes.
Okay, I hope you get a little bit more relaxed sitting in front of the laptop so long throughout the day. Yeah. Okay, so
Mindful breathing.
yeah, let me adjust my
Close your
slide
eyes.
for a little bit. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think just come back here to the session itself. I think I have two expectations, very simple and easy one. First is that to be 100% honest with yourself, meaning there's no one judging you in this room. It's only you judging yourself. So be 100% honest with your own thoughts and also throughout the reflection activities that we're going to have later, and also with the sharing as well. Be vulnerable and be honest with what you actually thinking. So to fully enjoy and fully go through the whole plenary session of today, and also treat it as a space between just you and me. So what does it mean? That I'll be sharing my story towards you, right? So just take it as a space that like I'm talking to you in front, and there's no one, no other delegates here. So just me and you in this space. So treat it as personal as you can, and to make sure that you are having a space that is quiet enough for you to sit alone and to think through. Yeah, so when you're going through this section. Cool. So yeah, I think just a bit of sharing from my end first, starting from me. So this is my experience, right? So I think I didn't manage to go through it just now. So I started my Isaac journey back then in 2017 as an OGU member in Isaac in Penang. So I was studying in USM back then. And afterwards, I go for my director in 2018 for a year. So my journey started with, I was doing marketing and I going for the same department and going for director as well, which is the physical marketing department that you never heard before, okay? And afterwards, I want to go for PPPM because I think for my own 1 year journey, I witnessed a lot of my own development and also development among the people that I have met throughout my director journey. So I wish to go for an EB role under PM. But I think ultimately I go for LCP at the end, right? So I think quite a lot of people are curious about why I'm jumping the position from director to LCP. I think it will be some part, will be the part that I'll cover with you as well later on what is the journey that I have gone through. So sadly to say that we don't have any EB summit that time. So yeah, there's no one facilitating or giving me inputs about, you know, what I can expect or what I should prepare myself better. So I think you are very fortunate to be here because it somehow, I think if let's say I was be the delegate for EB Summit, I would have prepared myself a little bit better maybe. Yeah, so this is my own journey, which I only have 1 year and 3 months of Isaac journey, but I go for a president role, which is something that I think I treat as a very huge leap of my personal life as well when taking up this leadership role. Yeah. So what have been disturbing me all the while when I'm looking back on my own experience and seeing at the role itself, which is like, you know, it's a president role, you know, I never been president before in my life. I mean, at least throughout my secondary school time until when I'm entering uni, I don't have a time where I'm a president, right? So the things that's stopping me making a decision to see if I want to go for the role, it's something that is coming from myself, which is my inner chimp. So inner chimp here, it's referring to the irrational, emotional side of me, which I keep punching myself with, you know, Minnie, you're not good enough because you're only 1 year plus and you don't have the VP experience. How can you become a president? You know, all these thoughts that I have when I'm deciding whether, you know, I want to go for this experience or not. So now in this space, I want you to listen to your inner chimp. And I think the objective here is not to, you know, getting you back into the loop of self-doubting, but I want you to make friends and to know how to better manage your inner chimp, okay? Which is the irrational and emotional side of you that telling you all the things that you are not good enough or you are negative, okay? So before we go straight into the activity, I hope you have your paper or your notebook ready with you together with a pen. So Faci team as well, make sure you have your own paper and pen and notebook. If you are ready, you can give me a wave. Wave from garlic. Okay, we have some waves coming in. Cool. All right. So don't worry, I'll go a bit fast paced because I don't want you to overthink about, you know, do I have this or do I don't have this and all those things, but just choose yes or no. Yeah, so I will show you a few list of statements. So you just have to choose, do you have this thought with you right now or you don't have it, okay? Just simple as that. This is a simple instruction, okay? And I think it's better if you can jot down all the questions, but I will prepare it at the side. So if you let's say I go a bit too fast, then you can still refer back. Yeah, all right, cool. So I will start off with the very first question. I'm not enough. So enough here means you don't think you are good enough. You don't think you're enough for certain things. You don't think are enough to have happiness. You are not enough for this leadership position, so on and so forth. So yes or no. Okay. Next question. Next statement. I'm not the best candidate for this role. So even though, for example, if you are already elected as a LCP, as a MC, do you have this thought with you? I'm not the best candidate. There's someone else that's better than me. Okay, next one. I don't know what I can contribute. It's either you're thinking, I don't know what is my strength. I don't know what is the unique contribution. Even though I go through the unique contribution section, I still don't know what is the contribution I can make. Next one. I'm not inspiring. I'm not inspiring leader. and I cannot inspire people. Next one. I'm not good in speaking to big crowd. I'm introvert. I don't think I can do well for that because being a leader, I need to speak to a big crowd of people, but I'm not doing that. Next one. I have nothing more to learn in Isaac. I think I already learned enough. I don't think I have much more thing to learn in Isaac. Next one. I'm not ready yet. Just not ready. There's no specific reason. I just think I'm not ready for the role. Yes or no? Okay, next. I don't know why it's my strength. I don't know why it's the things that is so special about me that I can lead someone else. I don't know what's the strength that I can write on if I'm becoming a leader. Or I don't have a strength. All the things I have is just characteristic. There's nothing called strength. Next, I might fail to manage the changes. There are so many changes. I don't think I can make it. I think I will fail. It's just yes, no. There's no maybe, okay? Yeah, next. Others are better than me. There's no reason for me to go because others are better than me. Next one, this role is very challenging for me. No joke, no kidding. Hey, don't, this no joke. I cannot go. MCP, no, this is too challenging for me, for example. Okay, the very last one. I don't know if I'm investing my resources and time in the right place. I don't know if Isaac is the platform I want to choose for another year. Okay. All right, cool. So I hope you have your own reflection done very quickly. And if you need the statement here, you can very quickly do a screenshot for yourself. Yeah, so for the full list as well from 1 to 12, okay? So later you can refer to that. Yeah, I think we'll send into the group as well for your reference. Okay, cool. So I think it's okay if, let's say, these are not your inner thoughts. Okay, so this can be the thoughts that it's telling you, but it can be not as well, right? If it's good that if you know yourself well, and I think with the condition that you're 100% with yourself, okay? So it can be something that you're thinking right now, or is something that you are not having any thoughts about it. But I think one thing to be aware here is thinking about, are these thoughts something stopping you from taking actions? At least for me, yes, it is, because these are all the things that stops me from thinking clearer on who am I exactly, and what is the strength or my contribution that I can make as a person, right? So it's stopping me from looking myself a bit clearer, and I just cannot take away this thought, right? Meaning it's too hard. Yes, I know I acknowledge that, but it's too hard for me to not think about it because it's always in my mind. So yeah, I think when you are reflecting, one of the things that we're checking is, are you letting your inner chimp to take in charge? So this is the book that I'm referring to, where I talk about all the inner chimp and the human side of you. Is coming from the mind management. So one of the things that the author, which is the Dr. Steve Peters, referring is using chimpanzee as one of the subject that you can illustrate how the emotional side of you will be reacting. Yeah, so you always throw you the thoughts, like you should think about it, what's the emotion, what's the irrational side of you. So that's why just now when we're reflecting all the statement, right, is all the things that your inner chin is feeling and sensing and telling you, like telling your brain, hey, I don't think you're good enough. I don't think you're the best candidate, and so on and so forth. But when we are reflecting, defining yes or no, if you have majority of them is a yes, right? Meaning maybe now is your inner chin taking charge of your human, meaning you are not the one that making a logical decision, but you're having the emotional and irrational side of you, thinking and thinking and thinking, and you just couldn't get away of it, right? Just like a monkey clinging on your brain, for example. Yeah. So I think one thing that the author tell as well, like we are humans, it's 100% natural that you have those thoughts, and you cannot change the fact that it's your nature. So it's naturally your brain will just tell you when you face challenges, will face uncertainty. These are the thoughts that will come to you because we need to survive, and you need to rely on emotions to sense as well. You know, this is dangerous. Let's not go for it, right? But I think another side of seeing these survival emotions is also to make sure you are clear that you're 100% account on how you should manage your emotions, right? Yeah, so moving on next, now is the time for you to validate your doubts, okay? So to box it with facts and truth. So this is the another step that coming from the book as well. After you reflect, you need to validate whether is it true or is it not true, okay? So with all the statements that you have just now, those that you label as a yes, I want you to spend some time to validate it, okay? It can be based on your personal experience on you working with other people, that's how you see yourself, or the feedback that you have received, for example, from other people that telling you, actually, you are good in this thing. Actually, you have done that before, just maybe you are not recognizing it, for example. Okay, so some questions for you to ask yourself. First one, as simple as, is it true? For example, I'm not inspiring. Is it really true? Is it no one take your words, appreciate your words before? Then is it really true, right? Second, what's behind the thoughts? For example, I don't think I can cope with the changes. I think I will fail by managing the changes. What is the things that is behind it? Is it you're afraid you'll be failing of managing the changes, or you're afraid of letting people down, for example? So validate it with a clearer reason behind. And third one, how do you define good, best, or success? Like how do you define you are a good candidate, the best candidate, or how do you define a successful leader, for example? So look into how you are defining things. And lastly is also asking yourself that, are you trying to control the things that is not controllable? Okay, so are you afraid of other people, or you are thinking that you really don't have it, or you are trying to control something that is out of your control, like something that you couldn't even control about? Yeah, okay, so I'll give you 5 minutes time so you can validate it based on your personal experience or your team experience or the feedback that you have received before, to validate and draw. You can just draw the line next to the statement and write down, is it really true, and how you can validate it. Okay, any questions from anyone? If no, you can give me a wave, and if you have a question, you can ask me now. Wave from Celine. Wave. Okay, cool. So I'll give you 5 minutes time. Okay, cool. So our time is up. So yeah, I think even with the short 5 minutes, to be honest, is totally okay if you cannot validate it now. But if you already validate it, like I mean, you already find out like why you are having these thoughts and box it with the facts and the truth that you, based on your understanding towards yourself, is good. Yeah. So for those statements that you couldn't really validate, like I don't really know why I'm having these thoughts, right? It's okay, but just make sure you don't take too long time to validate it. Yeah, I'll tell you why later on in my story sharing as well. But now I think I'll give you some time to share with the person that you're going to pair up in the room. So I think just do me a favor, right? When people are sharing, you don't need to comment or feedback or anything. You just need to listen. And when it's the end of the sharing, then the other person can start to share. So you have 3 minutes per person. So we give you 6 minutes time to share to the other person. Yeah. So make sure you remember their name as well. So I want you to have another activity after the whole plenary ends. So just listen to their sharing and take your time in the sharing space as well. Okay, cool. So we can have the breakout room ready now. Okay, so the room is open. You can enter the room. See you in 6 minutes time.
Hi, sorry, I just went out.
Okay, give us a minute. We'll allocate
So
you
sorry.
time. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, we have people coming back. I hope you have a good sharing. And yeah, I hope you have enough time. Any room has insufficient time?
My room with Shinji, not enough time, but it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, just remember their names, okay? Remember their names and continue that conversation after the song. All right, cool. So yeah, you have done your sharing, right? So come back here now. I think is the time for me to share with you, which is the things that I promised you at the beginning, right? To share my story of me going after the P role. So I think one thing to tell every one of you here is that I was never ready for my leadership role, including my current role, which I think if you notice my application, I was the very, very last candidate that submit my application. But the funny part is that I started writing my application since the round 1 of it launched. But I only submitted it at the very, very last extra final extension round of it. Yeah, which I also taking too much time to make friends and controlling my inner chip somehow. Yeah, and I'm deprioritizing it because I was not, I think I was not brave enough to really sit down and talk with my inner chip as well. I don't know the way exactly. So yeah, going to the first sharing, which is my journey from director to a president. So I think it's the time where I'm letting my inner chip to take charge. Yeah, so what does it mean? Means that I don't have a proper reflection journey. So to tell you, right, my whole application until the time I was elected is finished within 1 week. So 2 days, complete my application booklet. The next day, I go for interview. I pass it. And the day after, right after interview, there's no break in between. I go for EBOC already. So it's just like 4 days of journey, I would say, from being a director, going for a president role. So throughout the whole process, I was full of emotions and doubts. Yeah, so I'll tell you a bit more in my story sharing more. So yeah, I think the anger and the disappointment that I still remember, I think mainly coming from me seeing myself develop in Isaac, but there's no one want to go for the role. So that's what happened in my LC back then, where all the VPs, they are very tired already and they are thinking to end their term and they don't see themselves going after the president role. So what I have in mind that time is I'm very disappointed on them, because I think this organization is so beautiful that I see my own development, but no one wants to continue the legacy and all, right? So I was full with anger and disappointment, and I was so triggered, and I just go around and ask for validation so that I can gain a bit more confidence to myself to go for the role. So the question I ask people is, for example, do you think I'm suitable for president role? Do you think people would trust me, or do you think people would vote for me, for example? So those are the questions I go and ask to get some validation from others. So I think the things that I realized, this shouldn't be happening. I mean, the process of reflection, where I skip throughout my application process, is very important when I was being challenged by my alumni. So the things that I wish to see, like I tell you, right, I want to see more people being developed as me, or more people getting this kind of experience. So my alumni questioned me that why you're not going for BPM, right? It's the same. You can make it happen as well when you are doing people management, because you are developing the people, you're developing the leaders as well. Yeah, so that's the moment where I know, yeah, I think my purpose is very unclear, but I still go after the role anyway, and I got elected already by that time. So I think that's the time where I really think I need to reflect a bit more on what exactly I want to see as a president. So the part that I skip, the conversation with myself, right, it's where all these thoughts clinging on me throughout my LCP journey, where I will keep comparing myself with other presidents. For example, Lermaine, she's from VP background and I'm not, right? So I know there are better candidates than me, that I'm just a director, but I still go for it because I'm triggered, right? I want to continue my LC, but this is all the thoughts that keep living with me when I'm already elected. So I'm not the best, I'm not enough, I cannot meet the expectation, and I'm not strategic enough, I'm not big picture enough. So those are the thoughts that I have. And eventually, it's taking charge of me as a person, or the logical self of me, because I couldn't really see my strength. When I focus a lot on all the doubts that I have, all the things that I think I could have been better, or other people is better than me, I couldn't focus on my strength because this thing is so loud. Yeah, the 5 times here, it's naturally your inner chim, which is the emotional side of you, is 5 times powerful than the human side of you, which is the one that you think you're conscious, you're making decision, but by nature, your emotions is 5 times powerful than yourself. Okay, so this is a fact that you need to accept, right? So I think reflection for me, I only started when I'm elected, which is to reflect back on my personal purpose as a president or as Isaacer, and what is the things that I wish to contribute back to my LC, and also what I want to see at the end of my term when I'm holding the role as a president, and also what is the gap I need to bridge, right? Like, I know I'm a director, so I know I do have the gap that I need to bridge, but what exactly is that? Yeah, so all these things only come after I got elected as the P. So the things that I learned from this phase is that if I could reflect a bit earlier, right, I wouldn't waste 80% of it to doubt myself, but I'll focus more on the actions that I could have taken to prepare myself better for this role. Not just 2 days finish out my application and to rush for the role, but really taking time and reflect and sit down with myself and to think and consolidate the things that I could have done earlier, right? But one of the very lucky or grateful things that I have after looking back on my own journey is all the people that I have met. Yeah, so this is my NAB with the Beyond team, and also the LCP team, and also Breakthrough team. So these 3 bunch of people, including my own LCP commission mate, including my LC coach, Roni, and also all the MCs here. I think I was chasing, who was that? MCPFL, Jessie and Shabelle and Gina back then a lot, because I have no idea on how back office work and how IGV is working. Yeah, I'm from OGV, right? So that's the people that I always go after, chase them after to ask all the questions that I have. Yeah, so that's the part that I feel grateful. And I feel like it's still, not too bad when I'm looking back, even though I skip my reflection part, right? So because I still have a very strong support system that is always beside me when I'm lost. So moving on to my current role, which is the mini that is better to make friends with my inner chin. I have something that I highlight for you as well that I wish you can take it as your own learning on how do I better manage my inner chin. Yeah, so first and foremost is really sit down, reflect and write. So I go through the whole process of application, but except the part of taking a bit too much time, right? But I really do sit down and really map it out. Use the way that I could reflect the most, which is to draw it out and to write it down very clearly on the paper and to remind myself like what are the questions I still need to answer before I really fully go after the role itself. And I think it's also to focus on the preparation. So instead of worrying, will I fail? Can I perform well? So I focus a lot on how can I prepare myself better. So I have conversation with people, for example, the past-time MC to understand, hey, what's your intention going for MC, right? Because I want to find a spark that I wish to find for myself, like going after the MC role and all those. And I also talk to MCP, which is learning, to understand what is the things that she want to strive for as a leader in next term. And I do more research and understanding on marketing as well. How can I contribute? What is the things I want to do and all those? And I consolidate it down to the essence, which is the booklet. Yeah. So I think for me, the things that you wish to really get clarity on is mainly on two things. First is your personal purpose, which is what is the thing you wish to get out of this experience when you apply, when you're going for this leadership role. And second part is on what's the thing you want to go contribute back. So some of you might ask me, right, why does this matter? Like, I just need to know what I want to get out of it, but why do I need to know what I should contribute back? I would say the higher role or leadership role that you are going, when I check back my own application booklet as well, it's never about you anymore. So how many questions that I have answered has related to myself? I think 10% of it, first part of it, when you talk about who are you as a person and what is the things that you know about yourself. So maybe those are things that I already need to have awareness with, but going for a higher leadership position means that you would grow and gain only when you're serving other people, because you are no longer a person, but you're a leader who are leading a team of people. Yeah, so that's what I have realized as well, why organizational purpose has been so important, is because the higher position that you go is no longer about yourself, but it's about the people that you are serving and the platform that you are serving. So the question I asked to gain my clarity is to ask that, is youth leadership something I still wish to strive for and contribute for? This is the question that Veronica asked me as well. Like, if you still want to stay in Isaac, ask yourself, like, is youth leadership something you want to still striving for in the coming 1 year, for example? So it's something I really think through and thinking of where am I going to head to in my coming years, and is Isaac vision still aligned with mine? Yeah, so this is one of the questions I ask myself as well. So, but not to say I'm super confident, right? Like, not to say after I have more experience in Isaac, after I know myself better, my inner chin is so quiet that I couldn't hear like the self-doubt that I have towards myself. But I think it's just in terms of when I'm more aware of myself, I can manage it better, right? So for example, I'm still thinking I'm not a big picture person. So, but instead of reacting towards it or feeling fear, I would say, okay, thank you for your suggestion, right? Chin, I really appreciate you're telling me that I'm not big picture enough. But the things I'll do next is more on reflecting and validating. So I would put down, okay, I'm not a big picture person, right? So what exactly has happened that I define myself not as big picture as I thought, for example? So this is how I go through my own self-doubt. I think I still have it now, okay? But I choose to deal with it a bit better. For example, first one, I'm still not big picture enough, but I think with my team experience, I discovered that my strength is to connecting the dots. So when you're not big picture enough doesn't mean you cannot see the connection of the things. So how can I use my own strength to complement back these weaknesses in not able to pull out and see the big picture? And also not being strategic is I ask myself, so how do I define strategic, for example? Actually, there are a lot of definition of strategic. So what is the strategic end picture that I want for myself? And I need to know that definition to know how can I work on it, right? And I don't think I'm a super expert marketer, to be honest, because I'm not coming from that field and I don't have much experience with it, just 1 year CCT, right? But is it really true? Like from my experience learning about marketing, any strength I can contribute when I'm taking marketing role, right? And last one, I don't know if I can perform because I have not been in LC after COVID comes and all the changes, right? I'm the same with you, there are so many changes that I need to catch up because I have not been LC for 1 year plus, right? After I ended my LCP role. So I don't know if I can perform well after things have changed so much. So behind all these things is I have the fear of failing. I don't like failing. I think I only like when I'm being praised or recognized by people, right? So no one likes to fail, and I'm afraid of judgment because I'm already going for MC. What if I fail? People are going to judge me. I'm not a good MC, for example. But instead of working on my fear, I need to think and change my direction into, so what can I do to perform, right? So what I should do better to cope with the changes. So yeah, but this is still coming out like, what if I fail doing well at this job? I'm not going to perform. Yeah, I think I'm going to fail, right? All these things. So the next step I do is to review the things that I'm worried about and to look into, is it something that I cannot control? So it's something that Lee once brought up as well yesterday, right? About the circle of control, circle of influence. I think some of you heard of it, some of you may not. But if you look into the elements that you can control, it's only limited to your behavior, your actions, how you look, what you want to wear today, and your decisions. Yeah, so something that you can control is mainly on all the behaviors and actions you could take to change how are you living a life, right? But all the things that usually we are worrying about, how can I do well? Will I feel will I success? If I start up this business today, will I success in tomorrow? What will others think of me, and what will people like me or not? How my family will think of me if I choose Isaac? All these things you cannot control, right? It's only in your circle of influence, meaning you have no direct control over it. You can only influence how they think. And lastly is the circle of concern, which is something that will happen will concern you, but you cannot control at all. So for example, social media feeds, which is the things that we always scrolling it nowadays. Yeah, I hope from this you also know, like, which are the areas that you put more focus into. It will define how are you optimizing your own self, which is your own time, onto the things that you can control as a person. Yeah. But I think nowadays we spend so much time on the things that we cannot control and the things that will only concern us if it happened, but it's not exactly the things that we can have control over. So one thing, I think another key things that I learned is, if for myself to gain more control of my own life, I have to give up what I cannot control, right? So yeah, it's like, if you want to control better on the things that you wish to see on yourself, you have to let go first, those things that is not under your control. Yeah, so come back to you. That's the end of my story sharing, right? So come back to you here. What do you wish to do better to manage your inner chi? Or you don't want to manage it, you just want it to take over you? I believe no, right? So looking back in all the learnings that you have gained throughout these 2 days time, I think going back to the two main parts that I mentioned just now, in terms of your personal purpose, maybe you are clear, maybe you are not clear, and maybe you don't think you see what you can contribute back to the organization. But with all the sharings, with all the knowledge you have gained in this summit, what is the line you want to draw between yourself and towards the purpose that you wish to see back to the organization? Yeah. So another activity for you, which is a very last few one. Yeah. So I want you to think about what is the action plan you want to do after this summit. So the question is as simple as what you want to do to make friends with your inner chin, and who you want to approach to discuss and share your reflection output, and why. Yeah, so you can take the person if you want them to, give them a heads up, okay? Yeah, so it can be any fears that you have just now, right, throughout the reflection. So I want you to think about what you want to do after this summit to make better friends with your inner chi, meanings to better validate it and to better control it. So what you would do, okay? So I'll give you some time to work on it. Play a more exciting song for you. So we have shared the template to the group chat, right? So if you feel comfortable, you can share it on your Instagram and share it with us. But if you don't, then it's okay to just do it on your notebook for reflection. Yeah, so one more action is also text your sharing buddy. So just now you have listened to the things that they have shared, right, after they're reflecting. So send them a message on any things that you want to tell them now.
答えてよ愛の歌も歌われ尽くしたあまたの映画で語られ尽くしたそんな荒野に生まれ落ちた僕君それでも愛にできることはまだあるよ僕にできることはまだあるよ
Okay, cool. So I hope you have enough time. So if let's say you don't, it's okay. You can still take some time after the session. But I hope you keep yourself accountable on how you want to manage your own thoughts and emotions better, because it's 100% accountable for you to manage it, right? Okay, so just to recap the evening plenary, I think the first key message that I want to give is there is no ready moment. There is never a ready moment in your life, be it is going for a leadership position, be it is to make a huge decision for yourself. There is no ready moment, but to get ready now moment. So you can only be ready when you are taking actions. Second, it's also you have to give up control to gain control, right? So if you play this lantern before, you need to let go. Only you can see it fly, right? So if you're holding on the things that you are unable to control, you cannot go further than you think you should or you think you can. And very lastly, I think is whenever you feel lost in this journey, make sure you look around, because Isaac is a very personal experience for everyone, but I do believe that it's never about yourself and you always have people had your back throughout the journey. Yeah, so I think that's all for my evening plenary. Thank you everyone for your time. And this is the feedback form link. So you can, we'll send it to the group as well. And we wouldn't have take you more time, and we will end on time as well, but we will spend some time to take a photo before we end the summit. But make sure you fill in the feedback form so we know that what are the things that we can improve better. And also it's the last chance for you to boost your points for the fun team prizes as well. Yeah, so thank you everyone for your time with us these 2 days. So yeah, it's the photo time now. So can we have everyone open your camera? Yeah, so we will have Eugene to help us to take, right, Eugene? Okay, cool.
Okay, so need to take 2 times lah. Okay, yeah. Okay, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay, can stop the recording first, and then I go to the next page.